My husband's secret dash cam recording revealed a nightmare I ever saw coming. Cheating scandal. The sun was blinding, but nothing was as glaring as the truth I found buried within that dash cam footage. I had to see what happened during the accident. I saw my hubby's true face on the dash cam when I was studying the place of the car accident. He was kissing another woman, and further searches revealed something that shocked me, and it's not just about his mistress. Our cozy kitchen, usually a haven of shared breakfast and comfortable silences, felt like a battlefield of unspoken anxieties. Just this morning, Jake and I sat across from each other, the mundane rituals of our day about to be shattered. A cookbook lay forgotten beside my plate. A newspaper was sprawled in front of him. You remember my work event next weekend? I began, my voice a little too bright, trying to pierce the bubble of routine. Jake looked up, a thoughtful expression on his face. The annual gala, right? With all your colleagues and their fancy dresses and tuxedos. I chuckled, trying to keep the nervousness out of my voice. It's important to me, Jake. It would mean a lot if you came and not just for a brief appearance. He gave me that charming husband look. To all practice sincerity. Oh, hush. You know it's not like that. But yes, it's crucial for networking. And having you by my side would give me a confidence boost. I promise I'll be there, by your side throughout. Besides, he winked. It gives me a chance to see you dressed up. And I never passed that up. We both laughed. A brittle sound that now echoes with a tragic irony. Then, the small storm cloud of the day appeared. My car is stuck at the mechanic again. I sighed, frustration lacing my voice. I thought they would have fixed it by now. This is going to mess up my whole day. Seeing his frustration, I offered, why don't you take my car? I don't have any major plans today. Just some cleaning and maybe catching up on a book. He looked surprised, hesitant. Are you sure? I don't want to leave you stranded. I pushed my car keys towards him, forcing a smile. I've got two legs and a whole neighborhood of friends. If I really need to, I'll find a way. Plus, Mrs. Henderson next door owes me a favor. I helped her with her garden last week. To remember, he smiled, relief evident on his face. Thanks. You always know how to make things work. I promise I'll fill up the tank as a thank you. And maybe grab some of that ice cream you love on your way back. He offered. Deal. Little did I know, I was planting the seeds of the tempest that was about to rip through our lives. As soon as Jake left with the car, I threw myself into cleaning. The house needed some sprucing up, and there's no time like the present. From scrubbing the kitchen counters to vacuuming the living room rug, the hours seemed to melt away. In the midst of my cleaning, I realized I'd missed our little indoor plants that needed water. While attending to them, I found myself smiling over old photos, documenting our years together. Hilariously, it had been an hour since Jake left, and I hadn't heard a word from him. Pulling out my phone, I checked for missed calls or texts. Nothing. Just as I was crafting a message to him, the screen flashed with an unknown caller. Taking a deep breath, a premonition settling in my stomach, I answered. Hello, is this Mrs. Alex Williams? The voice on the other end was cold, professional. Who am I speaking to? This is Officer Mitchell from the City Police. I'm sorry to inform you there's been an accident involving a car registered in your name. My heart pounded in my ears, a frantic drumbeat of fear. Jake, is he okay? Please, tell me he's okay. The officer's tone remained neutral, chillingly so. You might want to come down here. My knees buckled, the world tilting. Where are you located? I'll be there immediately. The officer provided the location, but words are blur. Worst case scenario playing through my mind. On the verge of tears, I rushed outside, desperately searching for a quick way to get to the crash site. Mrs. Henderson, the elderly lady next door and one of the kindest souls I knew, was tending to her roses. What's wrong? Jake, accident, I need to get there, the words coming out all jumbled and broken. Mrs. Henderson didn't miss a beat. My grandson's car is here. Take it. I can't thank you enough. Mrs. Henderson. I managed to say as she handed me the keys. I sped towards the crash site, my mind racing, hoping and praying that everything would be alright. Whispers amongst the onlookers as I parked and made my way towards the commotion. A nearby officer noticed my distress. Can I help you? Ma'am, my husband, Jake Williams, was in the accident. I stammered, my voice barely audible. He guided me through the crowd to where Jake was. Seeing him with paramedics, a wave of relief washed over me, quickly followed by a fresh wave of dread. He was okay, but what was really going on? Jake, I rushed to his side. He tried to smile, but it looked strained. Hey, Alex, looks worse than it feels. I gently touched his cheek, needing to reassure myself that he was really there. What happened? Another man, standing beside Jake, extended his hand. Hi, I'm Tom. Shaking his hand hesitantly, I responded. Are you okay? Just a few scratches, nothing serious. But I'm more concerned about your husband and the lady who was with him. I looked at Jake, my blood turning to ice, waiting for an explanation. Who is she? Jake sighed, avoiding my gaze. She's a colleague from work. We had a meeting, and I offered her a ride home since it was on the way. Why haven't I heard about her before? My voice betrayed a hint of suspicion, a growing unease. It was just work. I didn't think to mention it. And with the car situation today, it just happened, Jake replied, to his voice laced with a nervousness I'd never heard before. Tom added, she seems pretty shaken up after the crash. She took off even before the paramedics arrived. Thought it was strange. This revelation added more questions than answers. Why would she run off? Maybe she panicked. I don't know. We all fell into an uncomfortable silence, the air thick with unspoken accusations. The paramedics were preparing to transport Jake to the hospital for a more thorough checkup. As we prepared to leave, my mind was preoccupied with a mystery passenger and what that meant for our relationship. As the ambulance started up, I made a silent vow to uncover the truth, no matter where it led. After ensuring Jake was settled in his hospital room, my thoughts shifted to the DVR in our car. It was a relatively new addition, a birthday gift from Jake after I mentioned wanting one. The irony that this device might shed light on Jake's recent actions wasn't lost on me. I'll be back soon, Jake, I whispered, giving him a light kiss on the forehead. He seemed drowsy from the pain medication. Where are you going? T-Mobile. Just need to sort out some things related to the car. I'll be quick, I reassured, a lie forming easily on my lips. Heading back to the accident site, I retrieved the DVR and raced home. Back home, my hands trembled as I connected the device to our television. The first few clips were mundane, trips to the grocery store, a visit to my sister's house. But then I found the footage from earlier that day, occasionally switching radio stations. Then a woman entered the frame. Even from the side profile, I recognized her. It was Melissa, a co-worker Jake had occasionally mentioned, in passing, as part of some office gossip. As the journey continued, they laughed at shared memories. My heart sank further when the crash happened on the screen. I watched as Melissa panicked, the weight of what I'd seen pressed down on me. Their relationship wasn't just professional. I felt betrayed, hurt, and unsure of what to do next. Taking a deep breath, I ejected the DVR and placed it in a drawer. Whether it was evidence of infidelity or just a friendly bond taken out of context, I needed to confront Jake. But for now, I needed some time alone to process everything. The sun shone a bit brighter the next morning. With every passing second, the DVR footage played in my mind over and over, but I wasn't going to suffer in seal. I started with Lucy, my oldest and dearest friend. Our history stretched back to our school days. Lucy, I began as soon as she picked up. I'm having a get-together at our place tonight. Jake's coming home from the hospital. She sensed the unease in my voice. Alex, what's wrong? Why does sudden party? Just come over. There's something you need to see. Next I phoned Jake's family. That's a wonderful idea. We've all been so worried. Even Michelle, it's about time you did something right for my brother, she remarked snidely. Throughout the day, I visited myself with preparations. There was food to be cooked. By the time guests began arriving, our home was filled with the tantalizing aroma of roasted chicken and baked goods. Jake, having been discharged earlier, walked in to find our house bustling with activity. He looked surprised yet pleased. What's going on? A small smile forming on his lips. Just a small gathering to let everyone see that you're all right. He leaned in, kissing my forehead. You're full of surprises. Lucy, who had been watching from a distance the evening progress, a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. I've got something to show everyone, I announced, holding the DVR remote. Jake looked puzzled. What's this about? The room fell silent save for the video's audio gas filled the room. Jake's face turned, realizing what was happening. As the video ended, Alex, what was that? Jake, it's not what you think. The room was abuzz with whispers. The stage was set for Jake to finally explain himself. Stumped faces looked from the now silent screen to Jake, their expressions ranging from shock to disappointment. Lucy, forever the anchor in my life, was the first to voice all confusion. Alex, why would you show this? What's happening? Jake, sensing the rising tide of questions and accusation. Listen, everyone, it's not what it seems. Melissa just needed a ride, the hug, the kiss. It was just in the heat of the moment. After the crash, Michelle's eyebrows furrowed and usually so critical of me looked dissed. Jake, you're not making sense. First the rumors, and now this. Why would she even be with you in the first place? He looked down, searching for words. It was a work thing. We got close, but it wasn't serious. It was just a what-time thing. Jake's mother, Mrs. Anderson, a pillar of grace and kindness, looked shattered. Oh, Jacob, she murmured, this isn't like you and Alex. You were the ideal couple, son. You need to explain everything. This isn't just about you anymore. It's about the family. Sarah, Jake's younger cousin, who had idolized him, was close to Jake. Alex has been nothing but kind to all of us. Jake, increasingly desperate, replied, I made a mistake, I don't know how it spiraled this far. Lucy tightened her grip on my hand. I've known you both for years. You two are inseparable, the perfect team. Whatever this is, it needs to be dealt with. I took a deep breath. I know. Lucy, I thought we were strong. Michelle walked over, her demeanor softer. Alex, I'm so sorry for the way I've treated you, and I think my brother was doing this. I was wrong about you. The room was thick with a mix of empathy, regret, and unanswered questions. It was evident that our relationship had changed in the eyes of everyone. After the eventful evening, the house was filled with an uncomfortable silence. Some relatives had decided to leave, wanting to avoid any more drama. I retreated to our bedroom, mourning some time to myself. She sat next to me on the bed, placing an arm around my shoulders. Alex, are you okay? I sighed deeply. I thought I was prepared for whatever came next, but seeing everyone's reactions. Lucy hesitated, then said, "There's something else you should know." I looked at her, my heart racing. She took out her phone and opening Melissa's social media profile. There in her recent upload was a picture of a hand with a very familiar watch, Lucy point. "It's Jake's watch." Tears welled up in my eyes. "Yes, that's his watch. I gave it to him on our 5th anniversary." Lucy continued, "This photo was taken in your bedroom." Alex, look at the background. "It's your dressing table." I was taking it back. How could he bring her into our home, our sanctuary? It's a violation. There was a soft knock on the door. Michelle peeked in her face. "May I come in?" Michelle hesitated. "I saw the photo Lucy's talking about. It's unmistakable." "I'm so sorry, Alex. I had no idea Jake was capable of this." I spoke to him downstairs, remorseful, to say the least. But I told him he needs to come clean about everything. Lucy, ever the protective friend, asked, "Do you want to confront him?" I took a deep breath. "Yes, but not now. I need time to think." Michelle, "No. Take all the time you need. Just know that I'm here for you. We all are the weight of the entire situation." Unheavily provided a small soul. The morning sun filtered through the sheer curtains, casting me to shadows across the ornate living room. Soft melodies to my forgotten radio played in the background. I stood at the entrance for a moment, gathering my composure. Jake was already there, fidgeting nervously, while Lucy and Michelle whispered in hushed tones. I cornered the chandelier above, showing brilliantly illuminating the room, but failing to dispel the gloom. Drawing a deep breath, I broke the silence. "Jake," he looked up, his face pale, shadows underlining his guilt-ridden. "Alex, it's complicated, but you deserve to know." Lucy snorted derisively. "Complicated? Cheating on your wife is complicated." Spare us the big shot back, clearly agitated. "Lucy, this is between me and Alex. Stay out." Michelle, always the peacemaker, step forward. She start from the beginning. Jake rubbing his forehead. "Jake began a few months ago with all the pressure at work. Melissa was the one person who understood what I was going through. We were just friends at first, but things spiraled out of control. As your respect, Jake." Michelle sighed deeply. "Lucy's, that's just unforgivable." Jake, close to tears, responded, "I regret it every single day, every moment. But Melissa, it's not an excuse." But I felt it. Or Lucy's voice dripped with sarcasm, or the trap car classic. "Enough, Luke." Jake, "Was our marriage ever real to you?" Jake's voice, "It was, Alex. I made a terrible, terrible mistake. I can't change the past, but I'd do anything for a chance at redemption." Michelle said, "Jake, it's a hard truth. We thought you were different facing." Jake, "I need to find happiness again, away from all this, away from I'm filing for divorce." Alex, "If there's even a shred of love left, please reconsider." But my mind was made up. This isn't about love anymore. It's about self-worth. Lucy and Michelle closed in their support. Ever as I moved towards the door, I threw one last glance at the life I was leaving behind. So, Reddit, after hearing everything, do you think I handled this situation correctly? Was exposing him at the party too much? Should I have confronted him privately? I'm really questioning my decisions right now and could use some unbiased opinions. I need to know if I'm the crazy one here or if my reaction was justified given the circumstances, especially with the added layer of betrayal with her being in our home. Please let me know what you think. Any advice or perspective would be greatly appreciated as I navigate this incredibly difficult time in my life.